we're finally getting, this is one of the biggest reasons you wanted Trump to win, was just so we could see the articles where Democrats point fingers, complain, start attacking each other. We're getting those articles from places like the New York Times. So the New York Times is this gigantic article, how Trump won, how Harris lost. He made one essential bet that his grievances could become the grievances of the MAGA movement. You know, they have their wording on it. But buried in this is one of their better parts, which is they talk about the gamble that he made on advertising. Because if you looked at the big headline issues, he was ahead on the economy, he was ahead on the border. But if you were in swing states, including, I believe I saw this one here in Arizona during football games and stuff, he ran this ad, and what it was about Kamala Harris saying she wanted to pay for transgender surgeries for illegal immigrants in prison. The thing that they said was ludicrous during the debate, and it was entirely real. And they would talk about that, and then it would end with the tagline, Kamala is for they, them, President Trump is for you. Mm-hmm. And Democrats made fun of this ad. I believe Charlemagne the God, the host of some show I don't watch, he had some exasperated response to it, and so they made another ad featuring that. And so they would attack this, but it turns out when they ran the numbers, this was by far Trump's most effective ad. They would test this ad with people, and it would shift the race significantly towards him. And so they took a bet. They started to put this on the air all over in the big picture slots during NFL games, the stuff where you knew people would see it. And it really just lays out all of the vulnerabilities that Democrats had. And I think it's even stronger. They say it's about the trans issue, but it's more than that. It goes after the idea that Kamala's super ultra liberal, just as a general idea. It incorporates the border still. It's like the insanity of we're going to take people who shouldn't be in America at all, bring them here, put them in our prisons, and pay money to do these novel things to them. Got to be careful with YouTube. And
well done.
So they're doing all of this, and then they also have this great point where Bill Clinton pops up. You might remember from the 2016 postmortems, Bill Clinton, like he was giving all this advice. He's like, guys, I don't know that you're doing the right strategy for Hillary here.
Well, can I tell you a Bill Clinton story?
Go for it.
So a guy who will not be named, who's a very well-known NFL guy, he does color commentary on one of the networks, came to one of our Super Chase events. And he was like, Charlie, this is amazing, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I got to tell you something. He's like, I've known Bill Clinton for a while. We won some Super Bowls. I used to go there. He's like, I ran into him at one of these football games. And Bill Clinton was like, we're going to lose. And no one's listening to me. And we have a couple months of power left. And this was literally like, I heard this like the day before the election. And he was like, they're not in touch with the American people and blah, blah, blah. Again, this is secondhand, okay? So take it for whatever it's worth, okay?
Apparently,
it's not firsthand, it's secondhand, so there might be some,
It says in this article, Democrats struggled to respond. At one point, former President Bill Clinton told an associate, we have to answer the ad, and say that we won't do it. He even raised the issue in a conversation with the campaign, and he was told that the Trump ads were not necessarily having an impact. He never broached the topic publicly. It's just, you feel like if the Democrats had a version of Bill Clinton who didn't have Bill Clinton's personal baggage, like they'd be able to win elections forever, but they don't. They kind of have gotten rid of, I bet if Bill Clinton were, like a younger age, he'd probably be a Republican and hopefully a little more moral, but they've really turned out all of the like normal people who understand normal politics and how to appeal to the real American center.
Yes.
And it's so wild. I want to talk about this more later, but like Matt Iglesias has this list of like principles he thinks for a new way forward on the left. And it has these things like the government actually can put the interests of U.S. citizens first, and we should help normal people rather than antisocial types. And you look at that and you're like, okay, Matt, that's great, but this list of principles is called being a conservative. Yep. Thank you. Come again.
It's remarkable, actually. So, Andrew, I'm sorry, I'm just getting so much news. There's so many things happening right now.
Tons.
By the way,
having the same problem.
Yeah, Gavin Newsom calls a special session to protect California's liberal policies ahead of a Trump presidency.
Yeah, go for it. If we want to turn California into this like heat sink for every liberal, go to California. You'll be safe there.
Well, just to be clear,
whatever.
Though, California, as it stands right now, is the greatest percentage difference of 2020 versus 2024. Now,
really?
Yes. But please take that with a huge asterisk. It tends to get bluer as they count more ballots.
They have only
Well, hold on,
55%
Charlie.
in.
Hold
10
on
seconds,
that.
Andrew. 10 seconds.
The ballot harvesting, and conservatives adopted that in California, and it didn't go that way in 2022.
Okay, fair enough. We'll see. Again, I just want to have that caveat for now.